Ever since the Pulsar 250 went on sale back in 2021, it was expected of Bajaj to come up with a new motorcycle based on the same platform with a different engine. Today we have with us the Pulsar N160, and as you must have guessed by now, this is essentially the Pulsar 250 with the same chassis and bodywork with a smaller capacity engine. This is Bajaj's brand new entry in the 160cc segment. Let's find out what it's like to ride. First things first, let us tell you that we are riding the top spec dual channel ABS equipped Pulsar N160. It is available in this exclusive color named Brooklyn Black and gets the Pulsar 250's 37mm telescopic fork. The lower single channel ABS equipped variant is available in 3 color options and has a much thinner 31mm diameter fork. And now let's get straight to the heart of the matter, shall we? Bajaj has developed a brand new 164.82cc air and oil cooled single cylinder engine, and before you wonder, it doesn't share anything with the existing Pulsar NS160's mill. This long stroke engine with a 2-valve head makes 16 horsepower and 14.7 Newton meters of peak torque, which isn't class leading, although it is quite close to the top of the segment, and only the Apache RTR 164V and the Bajaj NS 160 outdo it in claimed engine output figures. However, there is also the fact that at 154 kilograms, the N160 is the heaviest bike in the segment. Does that mean that the Pulsar N160 is already on the back foot? Not at all. The first thing that strikes you about this engine is its refinement. So whether the rev needle is hovering at the idle RPMs or close to the red line, it remains incredibly smooth almost throughout. As for the spread of torque, this engine has a strong bottom and mid-range. You could be as lazy as a sloth, slot this gearbox in 5th and ride around the city at 35 kph without any signs of protest from the engine. Roll on the throttle from this point and the bike pulls cleanly, albeit at a slow pace. If you need to pull a quick overtake, you will have to go down a gear or two. Not that you'll mind this, because the new 5-speed gearbox is smooth and the light clutch lever action will also make it a breeze to go up and down the gearbox. The mid-range is also pretty strong, especially between 4000 and 7000 RPM. This makes it a very responsive engine, and that translates into an effortless ride in the city. Tractability, indeed, is the engine's strong point, which explains why this motorcycle is incredibly effortless to ride. I think a lot of people graduating from a 125cc or a 150cc motorcycle will like this kind of rideability. More importantly, the engine's tractable nature should translate to good fuel efficiency, which we will ascertain once we put the bike through our road test cycles. While the low and mid-range performance is genuinely impressive, it isn't exactly lacking when it comes to top-end performance either. The bike can hold a steady 80 to 90 kph without feeling or sounding strained, and even 100 kph doesn't cause the engine to sweat. From then on, however, the performance begins to taper as the digital speedo climbs to an indicated top speed of around 120 kph. At this point, the revs are also pretty close to the red line, which again is an indicator of the engine reaching its performance ceiling. Overall, the N160's engine is the star of the show here, and I'm eager to see how it stacks up against the competition after a full-blown road test. And before moving on to discover the way the bike rides and handles, special mention must be made of the exhaust note, for it sounds throaty and properly sporty. The advantages of platform sharing is clearly evident in the way this motorcycle rides and handles. It has the same chassis, suspension, wheels and brakes as the N250 and is equally confidence-inspiring to ride. So whether you're talking about high-speed stability or sure-footedness around a corner, the Pulsar N160 does not disappoint. The N160 has the same telescopic fork and monoshock as the Pulsar N250 down to the spring rates. But unlike the N250's plush ride quality, the N160's ride, especially at the rear, felt a tad firm. This is experienced particularly while riding over the sharp edge of a pothole. Mind you, we didn't tinker with the stock preload settings and that the N160 is about 8 kilograms lighter than the N250. We think the ride quality should improve once the preload has been suitably adjusted and when the pillion hops on board. As for the brakes, the Grimecas are possibly the best in the segment. The brakes are really good with strong bite, good progression and feedback through the lever. As is the case with the chassis, the N160's bodywork is identical to the N250's, and that's definitely not a bad thing at all. Bits like the headlight cowl, the sculpted fuel tank and its extensions, or the way the side and tail sections merge are design highlights. The floating panel on the front mudguard, the frost effect inside the LED tail light, or the black chrome 3D Pulsar logo are other details that look good. And then there's the exclusive colorway that this variant wears. I think the bike looks really stunning in this black colorway, and I like the grey and red stickers that add a dash of contrast. The bezel-free analog digital instrument cluster is identical to the N250's as well, with useful information like distance to empty being shown. That being said, the lack of Bluetooth connectivity or navigation, while not being a deal breaker for now, should be considered by Bajaj during the next round of updates, whenever that happens. While the quality and finish levels on this motorcycle are pretty good in most parts, I wish Bajaj paid a little more attention to the touch points on this motorcycle. The switch gear, for example, is just about okay, but I do not like these grips because they feel shiny and cheap. Bajaj has set out to take on the 160cc segment with all guns blazing, and after this first encounter with the Pulsar N160, we can say that they've come up with something interesting and impressive. This motorcycle brings all the good bits of the Pulsar 250 platform down to a lower displacement segment and has a refined and tractable engine as well. I'd go far as saying that the Pulsar N160 has trained its crosshairs specifically at the current best 160cc motorcycle, the TVS Apache RTR 164V. So much so that even their prices fall in the same bracket. Which of these is the better motorcycle is a comparison test we can't wait to conduct. For now, if you are considering getting the Pulsar N160, we'd recommend looking past the single-channel ABS variant with its tempting 1.22 lakh rupees price tag and stretch your budget to rupees 1.27 lakh and purchase the dual-channel ABS equipped Pulsar N160. It is the one to put your money on.